We are live on YouTube. Hey, everybody, come on into the cafe, get your coffee or tea, pull up a chair, and let's hang out. I've got the fabulous Dr. Rose Wilkerson with me today. Hey, Rose, how you doing?
Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm tipped a little bit.
Rose is
Oh, I'm
apparently
sorry. Hold
still
on for a
setting up.
second.
Rose is still setting up. First name, last name is in the chat. I haven't seen first name, last name in a little while. How are
Oh,
you
hi.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's got a question already. Hey, if you got a question, put it in the chat. We'll get to it after the topic today. We got a cool topic today. Actually, this is a show that we've been anticipating for like 2 months now. And we're going to talk about online shops versus an Etsy store versus Shopify, or there's so many different things you can do to get your readings out there. And Rose has been researching this topic, and so she's going to give us some insights on Etsy and stuff like that. By the way, we have a YouTube video. Um, I think it's linked in a blog post on our website, which is, let me bring that up, tarotbiz.com. Yeah, on it's all about Etsy and readings and stuff like that. Yeah. So real quick, grab us a cup of coffee, tarotbiz.com/coffee. Let me grab that URL. I'm going to stick it into the chat for everybody. Tarotbiz.com/coffee. It's basically our tip jar. You can also use it to jump the line. Yeah, just type in after you've bought us a cup of coffee, say, hey, I bought you a cup of coffee. We'll go right to your question first and spend more time on that. Also, I have a link for you today for my card of the day, which we're going to do that after the topic. We're going to do stuff differently. We're going to go right into the topic, but I wanted to give time for you guys to download the PDF. I'm putting it in the chat right now. And let me take off the coffee thing. I still got the coffee thing up there. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like our videos. We've got lots and lots of videos. Look for some of them in the various playlists, like workshops and stuff, and check them out, like them, and watch them through. And it really helps our watch time and everything. We're still trying to get to that, 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. I think we're like getting close to 800 or something. Haven't
Oh,
looked.
that's good.
I haven't looked in a little bit. Let me see if I can put this up here for everybody. Oops, wrong button. But while this is up here, if you're a member, you can join us on all these calls, and we do live mentoring and coaching. Plus, you can get a reading. The website link. Yeah, I wanted to pop this. Why does it keep doing that? It's popping up the wrong one. Hold on a sec. There it is. Okay. Jeez, that was a pain. Okay, get that out of there. Alrighty, and then I need to make this a little smaller so you guys can see the whole thing. It's one of those tiny URL things because it was super long.
Mm-hmm.
So here you go. Just type in tinyurl.com/, and then it's January, oops, with a capital J. Make sure you get the capital because it is case sensitive. Everything else is lowercase. So capital JAN for January 31, 2026. 10 of Wands. I know that's a little confusing, but believe me, it's better than the gigantic link to go to that PDF. So it's right in the chat there. Also, it'll be below the video. If you're watching an archive, you can just go down there and click it and not have to type all this in. But there it is if you want to type it in. tinyurl.com/capital JAN 31 2026 10 of Wands. And that'll take you to our PDF. And go ahead and start reading the PDF because really great. We're ending January, we're going into February, and I got a really good card of the day. We'll go into that in a little bit here, but meanwhile, let's do the topic. Get into the topic here. So
Okay.
this is actually Dr. Rose's topic. You came up with the idea, Rose, and you were looking into for your own business because that's what you're doing for 2026, getting out there doing readings and stuff more.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at different places, different platforms, and things, where you can put your readings, and a lot of people do readings on Etsy. What'd you find
Yes.
out?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give people a more general landscape, and then I'll focus in on Etsy in particular. Because kind of like the question that you asked, should you have your own online store? That's
Mm-hmm.
something that people have to kind of decide for themselves. If you're looking
Right.
for a wider audience that's not locally based, then my recommendation is yes. So there are what I've narrowed it down to three kinds of sites that are available for people who want to do readings online. One is like the first one is a business site for psychic readers that is already set up. People are already going there for divination readings of some sort or energy work or whatever it is. And you'll recognize some of these businesses because some of them have been out there for a long time, called Keen or Kasamba
Mm-hmm.
or Purple Garden, I think has been out for a little bit as well. Now, these kind of sites, you're in a sense hired. I'm going to put quotation marks because it's like an independent contractor, but in a way, you're hired, and they vet you. You do a reading for them. They do what do you call it? What do they the authentic? What do they want to do? Like a verification check or something? I don't know if they run your name through some kind of security thing or whatnot. But you go through a process. You apply
Yeah.
and they have you do a reading and they make sure that you're a person in good standing to do readings for their site. So that's that one. That's more of like everything is set up. All you really have to do is just set up your profile and do your offerings and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly they do the marketing. Now, some of these sites also have a marketing package that you can purchase, but I'm not going to get deep into that. So that's the kind of it's already set up. People are already looking for divination, and that's pretty much all they do, right? um the second type of site that is out there is that it's friendly towards divination readers or tarot readers in particular, and and you still don't need to do much marketing for yourself unless you choose to buy their package. So, an example of that would be Etsy, and I'll talk about a little bit about Etsy when I finish this part up. So, they're friendly towards divination readers. They're not all about divination readers. Etsy, of course, really was a site that came into fame because it allowed small business owners to sell their products, meaning a lot of handcrafted kind of items, right? But they've also opened it up to divination readers, and I'll go more deeper into Etsy in a moment. So that's the second kind of site, friendly towards divination readers. You do a little marketing or no marketing, at all. The third kind of store site is where it's definitely open to tarot readers or divination readers, but you have to do all the marketing, all of it. So a good example is
Yeah.
Ko-fi, ko-fi.com. Ko-fi is a site where it's easy to set up. Maybe they charge a little bit of something for processing, but that's it.
That's like buy
Pay
me a cup of coffee site.
exactly. It's like buy me a cup of coffee in there. And I've looked at the tarot readers. There are some that have a lot of following, some that don't. But really, you have to do all the marketing for that because they're not going to do that for you there. Payhip, I think, is another example.
What's that one?
Um, Payhip, payhip.com.
Oh, okay. And I hadn't
So
heard
that's
that
an
one.
Yeah, I was, when I was doing my Google search, I was looking at it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's basically building your own site. It's easy to do. So it's not something
Cool.
that you have to, it's not like a Wix or Squarespace where you got to do a lot into it. You can build your own store and offer your readings and whatnot, but then again, you have to do all of the marketing. Hipsy, I also put under that category. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Hipsy is unique in a sense that they are open to all readers, then they
Mm-hmm.
market towards the readers. The thing is, though, what they've done recently in their marketing, I would say within the past month, is that they're saying if you have 30,000 followers, then you can use Hipsy. If you don't have that, well, in other words, what they're saying is that you have to do you got to do all the marketing pretty much.
Yeah.
You
It's
can be
not,
on a list.
let
Go ahead.
me let me jump in and clarify real quick
For
because
sure.
I don't want them to get the wrong idea. They're not Hipsy's not saying you have to have 30,000 to
Right.
use their platform. You can have no followers. It's
Yeah.
just you got to realize that they're not doing all this promotion like these other websites to bring people to the Hipsy website. It's a platform that you're using to do readings. And by the way, compared to like Stand Store is another one I wanted to mention. Stand Store
Mm,
and a
yeah.
bunch of these other platforms that Rose has already mentioned. Um, you're able Hipsy is more focused on readers and
Yes.
has the per minute options or the buy a whole reading for X amount options. Plus, they had some really cool back of the end, back of the back end stuff where like you're going on your chat. This is not them promoting you. You have to promote yourself, like Dr. Rose just said. But you have a YouTube channel or TikTok, or maybe you're on
Hmm.
Instagram and you go live and you're able to then you go live and then you go into Hipsy in your back end, of your account and you click a button, I'm live. And
Yeah.
you've already set up options and then
Hmm.
you have the link and you promote that link during the live. People click, go there, and get in queue. They buy this type of reading. Maybe have love readings for $15 and finance readings for 35, or whatever you're doing. And what it
Right.
does is on your back end of your account, it pops those up in this area in order. And
Right.
then as you go through and you're live on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube, wherever you're live, Facebook, and you're doing the reading for them. And then in the back end, you can go click, check mark, that one was done, go to the next one, check mark, that one's done, go to the next one. Now, if you have to, for some reason, either the person, I don't know, um, something happens or they leave or they're the question they're asking is something that you don't delve into, like maybe you don't do health readings or third party readings or stuff like that, you can click another button and it'll take it off the list and
Right.
they'll automatically be reimbursed, or what do they call that,
Right.
refunded. They'll be refunded automatically. So I love Hipsy because it's really aimed at readers where things like Stand Store, you can 100% use it, but it's aimed at any
Any store.
influencer.
Right. Right.
It's for
Oh, yeah.
influencer.
And
Yeah.
I like Hipsy too. And although you do have to do the marketing yourself and then clicking live and offering
Mhm.
euros is great. Also, what it
They
does
do
is
do a
that,
little, Rose. I don't know if you've noticed, but they have what's it called? They have partnerships with, I can't remember, but like California Psychics, and
mm,
so they do a little bit of advertising and get people to the Hipsy website.
oh
It's
yeah, what I
it's
was
just
talking
not
about.
like,
Yeah.
well, my point is you're right. You got to do your own marketing because it's not like Keen, California Psychics, Arana, where
Right.
they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars television advertising to get
Yeah.
people, and that's why they take 60% of the cut, 50% of the cut, depending on the platform.
Right. Well, yeah, and what I Hipsy is more unique in a sense, like you said, it's specifically for readers. And the really good thing about that is that they have what is it? You can take calls, you can do text readings, and you can do video and even video recordings. So and they're specifically, like we said, for divination readers, and they have a lot of other great qualities as well. So I only just said that you have to now Hipsy markets for itself in terms of attracting more divination readers and such, but also for your particular page, business page, you'll need to market. People need to know where and who you are. But the good thing is that you can add your YouTube, where you do lives, or your TikTok or your Instagram or something like that. So that's a great thing. And Hipsy is definitely worth checking out. I think their fee is pretty, I think for beginners it's low. I mean, you can do it for free, but they're going to take a little something out of it, of course. Most sites will do that, even if it's just running a credit card, even if you do something that doesn't cost much at all, like Kofi, for example. They're going to take some kind of percentage, especially running credit
Right.
cards or anything like that. So that's to be expected.
Yeah, Hipsy's
Um,
10%.
so I just wanted to kind of clarify those three things. Like a site that's already set up for divination. They've been out there, Keen, Kasamba, Purple Garden, and there's some others. And in a sense, you're hired as a tarot reading. You do have some say in terms of how much you're charging, but really it's kind of like their site in a way. Okay. The second one, like I said, is it's friendly towards divination readers. Etsy, you can set up an Etsy shop for tarot readers in particular. I even have a link for it because I wanted to see if they say it's okay for people to do it. There are people who are energy workers on that site that are having a lot of problems because what Etsy really prefers is they really want a product that a person can hold or to receive. So, for example, you can't just say, "Okay, I'm going to do Reiki on this person," and that's it. You have to give them something like a PDF or some instructions in the chat, because you can chat with
Can
the
they do a
business owner.
video?
Yeah, you can. Can you do video? I think you have to upload it. I don't know if they have it
Well, what
as
I
a
mean is,
part of.
can
Like
you?
you can upload it as a file. Yes.
Yeah, but what do I mean? I don't even mean that. I just mean they make a purchase and you send a video to them and as a download, and maybe that would qualify as a physical product. I mean, it's not.
Yes, it does. It does. You can do a video.
Of
Even
course, you could always
they
put it on a thumb drive and mail them the thumb drive.
right. Well, no, they also have what is it? For readers in particular, divination readers, they say just taking a picture and sending that is okay as well. They just don't want to say that, if it's something, I guess, that's not something that they can touch or down or digital download, then they don't want you. I think they've had too many problems or customer complaints. So if you do like a Reiki attunement or something like that, and you don't send them anything, then that's going to be a problem for the customers. So if you send them something in a PDF download or a video or audio, whatever, however you do it, then that's okay. And that's good. That's a good sign that they are open to psychic readers and things of that nature, as long as you do that. The other thing too that I found out, this was just through some of my Google searching, because I have been looking at whether or not I'm going to do this, for myself, and I'm still kind of on the fence about it at the moment. They also have I think a lot of people are, what do you call it, clients are going to come looking for issues around love. That is a topic. We even deal with that here on our live stream here, right? We get a lot of love questions. Is he coming back? Do you see love in my life? That's a big thing. In career and some future guidance as well. So those are the three main areas if you're going to set up an Etsy shop. So we're talking about Etsy now. Here are some of the advantages. The good news is that there are people who are already searching for tarot readers, so you don't have to do much in terms of marketing for that. I would say maybe do some, but you really don't need to do much of that. People are already looking. If you have actually, I'll even try to bring something up. If you have a nice looking, what do we call that, image or whatnot, and
Right, right.
something that's visually pleasing and it's very clear as to what you are selling, that goes a long way. Okay. Let's see, what is another advantage? Another advantage, like I said, search engine is already set up for readers and people are already looking on Etsy for readers, so you can do that. And Etsy also can advertise your readings on other platforms. They may do some of that already,
Mm.
without you having to pay extra, or you could pay for it if that's what you're really looking for. So those are the advantages. And I would recommend it. Anybody that has a problem with setting up an online store, I guess the real critique, one of the disadvantages, or some people may think of it as a disadvantage, are the fees, because there are a lot on Etsy.
Ah.
There are a lot. And let me show, let's see, I can do a screen share, right? As you can see here, they have a image with large text on what they're offering, as well as if you put your cursor over it, you can see someone
Oh, I like that
shuffling
a
or
lot. I like
yeah,
I
there's
like the
that.
ones where they have a static image and the nice big font and colorful sometimes, but when you hover your cursor over the static image, it plays a video.
Yeah, and this example over here on the left is an AI image, right? So
Right.
there's that too. You
AI
can do
video.
that, or you can do a real video or something. So this is what you're looking at, okay, in terms of if you can provide this to further market yourself as a reader. Uh, the other advantage, let's see, I think I pointed out all the advantages. Now, here's the disadvantage. There's of course, you see that people offer different kinds of different amounts for readings. We have one that's $3.60. We got $13 or $14 here. And then over on our left, we got 20. So there's a variety of that. However, you're going to find some that are extremely cheap, and I mean almost like $1. And that, from what I understand, readers do that to bring in more customers so that they'll buy something else that's a higher price
Later.
uh, later on. Now that's the thinking behind it. The problem that I have is, do I want to offer, like, look at this lady who offers a love reading here for $2.15. Now, what
Mm.
kind of reading are you going to be able to do? Is that worth your time and your money, or maybe she just does something really simple like draw one card? I don't know, how they do this, because in my opinion, it's a for $2.15. That, remember, they're selling that. That doesn't even count all the fees that she's going to pay, for that. So that's one of the issues I have personally, and I think some other tarot readers may have that as well. It's
Dollar
one thing that drives,
79.
yeah, right, $1.79 right over here. Now, it's a 5-question tarot reading for $1.79, and remember that's on discount for the customer to pay, but that is not even including all the fees that have to go into that. So I don't know what they're going to even look at this point. 50 cents maybe they'll get from that. And what are that's a lot of work, in my opinion, for 5 questions for $1.79. That's just me.
Basically, if you want to make $1,000 this month, you have to do 1,000 readings.
Basically.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, but see, but now here, like I said, here's the other part of that. They say that they lower the prices really low to attract new people, and then there's only going to be a percentage that's going to do something more. So maybe, I don't know if this is right, but because I've never talked to these particular business owners, maybe it's a tactic to, you do a simple reading and then they'll give the person the answer. Maybe they text it, send a photo or whatever, a video, but then they say, okay, if you want to learn more, then here's a reading that I suggest. And that could be the $20 one, or that could
Uh,
be the $50 or whatever it
I'm
is.
I'm sure they must be doing that because how could they be making money?
They couldn't make money just off of that. That's
Right.
that's just not gonna that's not gonna cut it. So I believe that I read this book by someone who created an ebook, and I really what she says does make sense in terms of bringing in more customers, and then of course there's going to be a percentage that's going to buy something a bit more. But that's the thinking behind that. Most of these readers that I've seen do have higher priced readings.
Mm-hmm.
Not too high though. $20 is, I haven't seen much above $20.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that part. So that's one disadvantage. The other, let me bring up my paper here. are the fees.
Mm.
And that is the, Etsy does require a lot. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that just recognize that that's
How
what
high
it's
are
going to
their
be.
fees though? They
So
have more than one?
yeah, I'm going to go through it right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hold on for a second. I'm splitting my screen up here. Okay, good. So here are the list of their fees. They have a listing fee, meaning that to in order for you to post your service, one service is 20 cents. That's
Mm-hmm.
not too bad. Then there's a transaction fee. So, meaning that when they're, I guess, let's see, they have a 6.5% of the total order amount. That's the transaction fee.
Mm.
It includes shipping and gift wrapping if you're into all of that. But if you're doing an online reading, you may not, most of the time you're going to do something digital.
But it's still
For
high.
that.
That's high.
Yeah. There's a payment processing fee of 3% plus
Mhm.
25 cents.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And they
So
said it's charged on the total sale amount. This is the rate
yeah,
for the United States, folks. And this is
yeah.
of only today, January
And that's
31st,
pretty
2020.
standard across, anything online. Doesn't matter what you're doing, the bare minimum you're going to be charged uh to process a credit card or debit card. It's going to be around 2.9% and then 30 cents per transaction. Theirs is actually
Right,
a little lower with 25 cents per transaction. But
right.
they have that other 6% fee on top of that.
Transaction fee.
Yeah, see, when you said the transaction fee, I thought that included the credit card processing, but the credit card processing is on top of that.
Exactly. Okay, and okay, and so the other thing they say too is that the listing price, which is I guess 20 cents, that is part
Okay.
of the 6.5%
Oh,
transaction fee. Okay, but we're not done yet. We're not done because guess what?
good God.
If someone sees, if Etsy uses your site, let's say you're a 5 star, you've gotten 5 star reviews and you're very highly rated on Etsy, then guess what? They're going to use your image or your product image or service on another site that they advertise on, right? And they'll say, "Oh, Dax Carlisle, he's a 5 star reviewer and he's offering tarot readings on love and are you going to find somebody for Valentine's Day or something like that." So if a person clicks on that and they purchase a reading with Dax, guess what? There is a 12 to 15% fee that is charged.
Because
So
they're
it says,
promoting
here's
it.
what they say: Etsy advertises your items on other platforms. If a sale occurs via these ads, a 12 to 15% fee is charged. And they say mandatory if over 10,000 annual sales or something like that.
Wow.
And we're not done. Then there's a currency conversion fee. So that
Good
I think that
God.
has to do with is someone who is not from your country is order something, then they have to do all the conversions with the different currencies. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then they say some
But I do
certain.
want to, I just so everybody knows, just for reference for everybody, that
Sure.
uh that's something that's automatically done. If let's say you have your own website and you're using Stripe or you're using Square or you're using PayPal, the
Mm-hmm.
the the currency conversion is done automatically by your processor.
Right.
So them charging Etsy
Extra.
charging an extra fee on top of that, for that is ridiculous because it's
Right.
automatically done these days.
Right.
That's actually that we brought this up. That's actually one reason why I stopped using PayPal because the percentages for like let's say I have a client in Lisbon or in
Right.
Berlin or what have you, the percentages are just so much higher than just using a regular processor like
Right.
Square or Stripe, so that's why I don't use PayPal anymore.
Right. And then if you're, I think Etsy. I didn't really look this up, but I'm pretty sure Etsy is a US based company. So if you're coming out of the UK or Canada or some other
Mhm.
location, they said that sometimes there's an operating fee as well. They didn't
Oh God,
specify what it
thank
is,
God.
but it depends on the country that you're operating from. Unless you're in the United States, you don't have that. But if you're outside of that, so those are some of the issues regarding that. Now, some people will say, well, listen, with an online store, obviously you're going to have to pay something. How much you pay is up to you, but you're going to
Mhm.
have to pay something for any kind of transactions that occur anyway. If you were to do a brick and mortar store, which I haven't seen a lot of those shops out there, like a divination shop on the street corner. We have one that's been out there in our area. I think it's Albany or Berkeley, somewhere in kind of in that area.
We
That's
have
been
one
there for
here in
years.
Tucson that's been in business for like 30, 40 years, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
they're
So
still they're out there, but they're far and few between. It's
they're
so
far and few
expensive.
between. You'd have to have be somewhere where there's a lot of foot traffic, and
Mm.
usually that means kind of like touristy area or people where lots of people are walking, and that means your rent or your leasing is going to be pretty high. So if you
But we just did,
compare,
I did want to mention because you brought this up that we just did a show on this. So if you go in the
hmm,
archive and watch, we did a show on getting your cards on their table, collaborating with metaphysical shops. So you can go out there and find a venue. It doesn't have to be a metaphysical shop. It could be a spa. It could be a hairdresser. It could be do they
right,
use that word anymore? Hair salon? I don't know. But it could be a pub, it could be a coffee house,
that's
I'm
right,
not talking Starbucks, I'm talking about an independent, real coffee house. There's a lot of places where you can, work out a deal. Either you're paying the venue a small percentage, or even up to 50%, because they're paying for the venue, right? They're
right,
paying
right,
the rent. But some of them will actually let you come in and just do readings for free because it's a draw. Like I know coffee
right.
houses do that a lot. But I just wanted to put out there that yeah, you don't have to necessarily create your own brick and mortar. That would be really expensive. You want to instead find maybe there's a wellness center and they have a chiropractor, a Reiki
Hmm.
practitioner, a massage therapist, and then maybe you can work in their lobby and do readings for
Right.
people. So there's a lot of possibilities as far as locals.
There's a lot
Go
of
watch our stuff.
possibilities, and you will have to do the footwork to make
Yeah,
that happen. I mean, it's
yeah.
just the bottom line of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you prefer
Mhm.
it that way, a lot of readers prefer to do in person. They don't like much of the online
Yeah.
things, but there are readers who
But a
like the
lot of people
online.
are doing only online. Lots of
That's
people are.
right. That's right. Because people are, they're moving around and
Yeah.
they're whatever, So
If you set yourself up online, that means that, tomorrow, if you want to like fly down to Florida or go over to Hawaii or fly over to Europe and you have your computer with you, you're going to be able to continue to do your business. And
right.
not only that, it opens it up to, 3 to 5 billion people as your customer base instead of who lives locally in your area, which might only be a few tens of thousand,
Yeah.
So
Let me give you my thoughts on this because I've been thinking about it for a long time. Should I do Etsy? Should I do Hipsy?
right,
What
right.
should I do both? I don't know what to do. I would say for right now, this is what I'm thinking. Hipsy definitely, because I think it's worth it. And their fees are not as high as, let's say, having an Etsy shop. I think Hipsy would be great for doing live stream readings. So there are a lot of people, like I've looked on YouTube, who do readings right then and there. A person will pay for it. Hipsy can connect with your YouTube account or TikTok or whatever you're going to do in order for, and then it'll make it easy to post a link. And you could do something simple like one card, $1 for one card, or $3 for a card, or I'll do a 3 card draw for $9.99, or whatever it is that you're going to set up. You can do that pretty easily, and that does help to draw people to your channel and at least subscribe and follow, and then you know blow that up in such a way, I'm hoping blow that up in, excuse me, blow that up in such a way that there'll be that percentage that will pay for the more expensive ones. For the more expensive ones, let's say it's more kind of like, let's say it's more, it's a tarot reading, but some little dose of life coaching in there as well, right? Because those bigger readings that you do, if you do something for the year and you're looking at what's happening every month, that's coming up, or if you're adding some of the numerology reports that Dax does, by the way, you should definitely get a reading with Dax for your life path number or your soul number or things of that nature. When you're going to do much more work into it, I feel like the price should be higher. And for that, I was thinking maybe I would just do something like Squarespace and say, hey, you can just do this directly. In other words, all I'm doing is paying a processing fee, and that's it, for the bigger ones. And then I can keep more of the money as opposed to paying the transaction fee, the processing fee, the listing fee, the currency conversion fee, and the list goes on. So that's what I'm thinking. The higher priced ones, it would make sense to do it more directly with something like, just have a company that would process the credit card like Squarespace. And then for the lower paying ones, do Hipsy and do it live and have people pay. It'll be a lower amount, or whatever it is I decide. Remember, you on Hipsy, you get to decide what you're going to do. It's completely up to you. And then and use that as a way of attracting new customers and subscribers and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I think that I don't know what do you think about that, Dax? What do you think about my idea on that one?
Yeah, I mean, steering clear of Etsy, I think, is smart. I understand they do a ton of advertising, and so it's similar to going on a Random or California Psychics or Keen or Kazamba. The difference is, and I think this is why people like Etsy, on those other platforms, you have to block out, okay, for the next 6 hours, 8 hours, I'm here waiting for
Right.
meetings to come in. Whereas on Etsy, like 99% of the readings are on demand. In other words, they pay and then you pull your cards, do the reading, not right then and there. It could be tomorrow, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you have a delivery window. I'm going to deliver within 24 to 48 hours. And you may record a video like we're doing right now, and you're showing your cards and doing the reading, and then you send them a link to that video. Or you might take pictures of the cards and do a write-up and export it off of your whether you're using Word or Pages on Mac, and you export it as a PDF, and then it's a digital download. You're sending the PDF,
Right.
and that's an easier way of doing it. But it
Right.
just seems to me that, man, obviously people must be making money or they wouldn't be on there.
Yeah.
Or are they? We don't know. We don't know. I'm sure
Yeah.
some people are killing it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of work. Now, a lot of these other platforms, you have to develop a following, whether
Yeah.
it's through social media or an email list, or even local people signing up on your email list, if you're
Right.
local. But you have to have Instagram, Facebook, or these are all or. You don't have to do all these,
Right.
but most people do, but you don't have to. You could pick one thing to specialize in, like Instagram. I'm just doing Instagram, or
Yeah.
Facebook, or, because a lot of people have come off, they're not doing Facebook. So they're doing
Not
Instagram,
as much.
TikTok, because that became the trend. And
Right.
now there's gold to be made on Facebook because people have moved off of it. And yet people our age, a lot of people, 40s, 50s, 60s,
We're still on there.
are on Facebook. Yes. And so, you might want to do Facebook or YouTube or a lot of these things. You develop
Yeah.
your following, and then you just have a platform you send them to. And if that's the case, if the platform you're with is not bringing you business, you're bringing your following, and it's just a mechanism for you to deliver the reading, to get
Right.
payment, then my
Right.
suggestion would be go with what the cheapest option is. And
Mm-hmm.
the cheapest option might not be what you're thinking of. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But first, I want to talk really quickly about Hipsy versus Stan Store.
Mm.
because I don't think people have it's very similar where you have to bring your own audience. Stan Store was created specifically for influencers on YouTube. Although
Mm.
all kinds of people do it. You could put whole courses on there. You could put digital downloads.
Interesting.
Like you wrote
Yeah.
a small 35-page book and $10, $17, and they download it. It also has a built-in calendar, so people can go there, buy a reading from you, and pick the day and time they want to go live with you if you're doing live readings,
Hmm.
or do it as a digital download where they buy an email reading from you and then you deliver. Um, and then you got Hipsy that has all the mechanisms in place, which is really cool to do the online. Sorry, on to do the lot. You're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you're on, TikTok, and it has the per minute readings. It has telephone, video, text chat, or they can buy a reading ahead of time and then you get on with them at a just like on Stan Store where you're picking a date and time because they have a calendar, kind of thing. Now here's the difference. With Hipsy, it's 100% free to set up. That is
Yeah.
a big selling point, but you're going to have to pay 10%. So that includes your
Mm.
transaction fee though. So unlike I'm gonna say TikTok. Unlike Etsy, that's nickel and diming you to death. You know,
Hmm.
it's all in,
Yeah.
it's all included with Hipsy, and I think Hipsy is
Right.
actually a European company or a UK company or something like that.
Mm.
I don't think it's American. It might be, but I don't think it is. So they've already figured out the exchange rate stuff and all that, so, and they're not going to charge you extra for that.
Yeah, that's good.
Now with Stan Store, it costs because you're going to pay geez, now I forgot what it is. I think it's $29. There's two levels. There's $99 that has all the cool stuff, and then you have your basic setup, which is $29, which is all you really need. So,
Let me interrupt you for a quick second. It's actually they say it's headquartered in LA, in Los Angeles,
oh,
California.
cool. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I wasn't sure because you know a lot of these companies you see, you don't realize they're not here, folks. They're in Europe. you know, like
Yeah,
like
sometimes, yeah.
Aranum is in oh shit, forgot the name of the company. I mean the country. I forgot the name of the. It's a tiny, tiny little country between France and Germany and something else.
Luxembourg or
Luxembourg. That's it. Yeah, it's in
Luxembourg. Oh,
Luxembourg.
that's funny. I even came up with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're brilliant. Yeah. So Aranum's in Luxembourg. A lot of these companies are not U.S. companies. People think they're
Yeah.
U.S. companies, but then you
Right.
get little clues because you're reading their stuff and they spell the word center wrong with an extra e.
Right.
You figure it out. But anyway, so back to the difference. Okay, so with Hipsy, you're going to pay that 10% flat fee. With Stan Store, they have a processing fee, 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction, which is standard out there, folks. It's
Hmm.
standard. But they have no platform fee, you see. So, yes, you're going to have to pay $29 a month. But if
Hmm.
you're doing volume readings, then that flat $29 a month plus the transaction fee, 2.9% of whatever it's costing the client, and 30 cents per transaction. That is going to be a lot less than on Hipsy, where it's a straight 10% all the time, regardless. Yes, it's free to set it up, but it's going to be a lot more expensive. A lot more expensive. Now, that
Right.
once you get up to good volume, I mean, again with Etsy, we're talking about potentially $2 to $20 readings where you could be charging what you really should be charging, 99 to $150 a session. Some people charge $300-400 a session. And so even the higher level, the $99 level of
Hmm.
Stan Store at that point is worth it. And the reason for that is, I mean, you do one reading, you're paying for the stand store, and then hopefully you're doing hundreds of readings, right? Now, you get all these extras then with the $99 level. And especially if you're operating through Instagram and you're doing lives and things like that, they
Mm-hmm.
have the Instagram automatic uh, DMing where, you tell somebody in a post, put the word matrix in the comments and I'll send you this free PDF, or I'll send you the link to get XYZ or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person puts matrix in and they're automatically DM'd back by stand stores operating all this, so you don't have to respond manually to all the DMs coming in and look for that word. It's all done automatically by AI. And so
Right.
that's just one example. I don't have the list in front of me, but there are tons of extras you get for the $99 a month. So my
Right.
suggestion would be start out at $29 a month and then go. And when you're getting, many readings coming in at 99, $150, $199 a reading, go ahead and get the $99 level and then start building out some of this promotion, through Facebook and Instagram and stuff that you can do with the automatic DMing and everything like that. I personally, yeah, I love that Hipsy has the per minute, and as well as you can charge one flat fee or you can do per minute. I love that it does phone, text, video. I love that it has the lives on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok uh, functionality and everything. But and I do think it's a really good option. And this doesn't have to be an either or. You could do both.
Right.
Or other platforms too, because both Stand Store and Hipsy and some of the other platforms we mentioned, even at Stand Store and Hipsy, yeah, even Etsy, all of those you don't have to be sitting in front of a monitor, okay, waiting for the next reading. It's all
Right.
deliver on when the person sends it in. You have 24 to 48 hours, or however you set it up. Um, I would set a bunch of these up. My personal favorite is Stand Store because of the value. You're paying $29 a month, but you're getting it's a flat $29 a month, not 10% of whatever you bring in, like with Hipsy. And the processing fee is only 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. Uh,
Right.
is there a cheaper option? Yes, there is. There is us. There is the Tarot Guild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And and this is kind of what I wanted to lead into after I got your opinion on Etsy, which I kind of thought I knew what your opinion was going to be. And that's just the simple fact that if you're bringing your own audience,
Hmm.
why pay a lot to just process?
Right.
So with the Tarot Guild, we give you a couple of options. We can build an entire website for you, or on our website, tarotbiz.com, you can get a custom URL, tarotbiz.com/your name, like slash
Hmm.
Dr. Rose is Dr. Rose's page. And on there, we can put purchase buttons where somebody can click the button, and whatever processor you're using, I suggest Square, but you could use Square, Stripe, PayPal. They push the button, they pay for the reading. You get an email that so and so has bought a reading. They give you the person's email, you email them back, and you set up the reading. And then
Right.
another way of doing it is you can get something like TinyCal or Calendly. Some of them have free options, and we will embed your calendar from your Calendly or TidyCal or Acuity or whatever calendar app you want to use. We'll embed that on your page, and then people can go there and choose the day and time
Mm-hmm.
for their reading and pay all in one fell swoop, And so what's it going to cost? It's free. It's free as a member. You join for $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So our option is definitely the least expensive. It's $5 a month to be a member of the guild on our school store community. You just go over to tarotbiz.com, click join, and you'll see everything you get as a member. And that includes your custom tarotbiz.com page with a custom URL. I can customize the background of the page, what's on the page. You can put a video of yourself talking about, by the way, that's your next thing is write down, make intro video. So do a short intro video and we'll put it on your page. Uh, Video is king. Video is the best thing you can do
Yeah.
so people get to know your personality and everything. It doesn't have to be long. It could be a couple of minutes where you talk about, hey, welcome to my page. I do these kind of readings, blah, blah, blah. Click the link below or go to my calendar below and book. And we'll put that on there, or we can do just an image. We'll do a custom background, and put you on there and everything. You want to have a headshot of you. And while we're doing this, actually, let me go to tarotbiz.com and show people what we're talking about here. If I can share this. Okay, let's see. Is this working, Rose? And here we are. And as a
Mm-hmm.
as a member, if you get certified through the guild, you'll get onto our advisors page, our Tarot Guild advisors page, and you'll like all of these fun folks, including Dr. Rose and myself. You'll have your picture up here and your name. Your name is linked to, if you have a website, it's linked to your website, and the picture is linked to the website. If you're like Rose and I, you have pages. So let's go to Dr. Rose's page. You can click either her name or you can click her face.
Ta-da.
And there it is, the Mystic Tarot Path with Dr. Rose. So we'll make up a banner like this for you. We'll put in your socials so they can contact you, either email or some of your socials. You can talk about your services. Again, we can put a video in here where you say hi to everybody and explain. We got Dr. Rose's email address on here, and here are the booking buttons, and you can just click and go over to her checkout on Square and grab a reading from her. And so it's manual booking on here. But like I said, if you want to, I don't use calendars because I don't have the ability to block out huge portions of time because I'm a caregiver. So,
Yeah, I know how that is.
like you
Because
are.
I'm a
Yeah.
caregiver too.
So I can't really do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
I find time, I can just impromptu go live,
Mm-hmm.
like you were talking about doing, Rose, but I can't
Mm-hmm.
do, so I have them click book, and then sometimes I have time and I can do it right then, and I'll email them and say, hey, when are you available for your reading? Are you busy now? And if they say they're busy, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, how's Tuesday? I don't
Right.
I don't use a calendar because you have to block out and say you're available on this day, this day, this day from these
That's
times.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you are the person that is doing this full time and that's your business and that's how you want to work, because it is easier, it's manual. It's not manual, it's automatic because they go in and get to choose what they want, and you just get it and they pay you right away. Do that.
Right.
But this page, it's $5 a month as a member, and then we have options for can build out a website for you. It's not, if you've been looking into getting a website built, it's nothing like that. We're not talking $1,200 to $3,000 to get a
Yeah.
website built. We have a setup fee, it's $199, and then your hosting is included as
Right.
at the premium level, and then at the basic, the $5 a month level, it's your hosting is for your website is $99 for the whole year. So,
And that's a really good deal. And but you're also getting so much more. You're getting access to a community of experienced professional tarot readers. You are also we have I don't know what you which it depends on your subscription plan perhaps.
mhm,
Um, we have the certification course. You can just use it as a refresher if you're already certified, or if that's not something that
mhm,
you want to do at this time, or you can get certified, right?
mhm.
We also have calendar events for questions, Q&A live, where you can just go into the Zoom and say, Dax, I need some help. I don't know what I'm doing here or there. And, so, and this is every week, folks. And I'm not saying you're getting that completely. I mean, Dax explains all what you're getting for each of the subscription services, but at least being around like-minded tarot reader, you can ask in the school community, in our school community, if you have a problem and you're trying to figure something out, there are a lot of people there who can help you with that, whether it's digital, whether it's in person, or going to fairs, or whatever it is that you're doing as a tarot business reader. And by the way, Dax, you and I need to talk because I have a good idea for a
Oh, cool.
PDF that you could do to sell,
Hmm.
um, to help also, I think it would be very helpful. We gave a lot of information
Hmm.
in this video, so it would be great to break it down into smaller chunks at some later date. Um,
Yeah.
but I think there are some PDFs that can definitely be created out of this that will help tarot readers. Because here's the thing: if you're going to do an online business, if this is your choice, there are certain things that you're just going to have to do. If you're going for, I want to spend as less fees as I can, you can do that, and but you are going to have to put yourself out there in some form or fashion on social media. If you're going to go, and then there's that middle ground where maybe the site does some marketing for you, or what have you, or if you want to pay for it. And then there's the other one that's you're more of an employee for that company kind of thing. So but we have some really good options in terms of, okay, what if you want to do online, but you don't want to have to pay excessive fees like they do on Etsy? Well, then you can set up your own Squarespace. You can do this and that and the other. And I think for tarot business readers, if you really want to give this a shot, there are some steps that you can do, and we can give you that information. You can get that information from us. I think we're gonna do a PDF that'll be extremely helpful for you, and will help you get on your way. I think there are a lot of tarot
Oh,
readers
Rose,
out there. Uh-huh.
before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget, is I
But
don't think we mentioned Shopify, and I just want to mention
yeah,
Shopify and what's Square websites called? Their Squarespace. Is it Squarespace?
Squarespace. Yeah,
Yeah.
Squarespace.
Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of you see the advertisements for those, and you're going to ask, well, should I just get Squarespace or should I just open a Shopify store? Uh,
Right.
for readings, it's overkill. Now,
Yeah.
if you're going to sell tarot decks, tarot bags, you're going to sell crystals and all this kind of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
PDFs and books and decks, and as well as your readings, maybe it might be worth it. But again, we're
Right.
talking ridiculous fees. If you're just doing readings, all you need if you're a new reader is join the guild for $5 a month, and we'll set up your custom page on tarotbiz.com. It looks very professional. And, for now, that's all you need. And then down the line, if you
Right.
want to do a website, we have the most inexpensive websites out there. But also look into Stan Store and Hipsy. You might fall in love with one of those platforms and really want to try that.
Make a go of it. My
Okay.
mother just came to the breakfast table, so I'll be right back, guys, but I'm still here with you.
Awesome sauce. Well, I'll take care of a couple of readings and other stuff.
Cool.
Great information, Rose. And if you have time to pop back on, we might still be on air because we're
Yeah,
actually
I'll
supposed
be
to
I'll be
end
back
right
on.
now, but I got people waiting for readings in the chat, so I got to do that.
Right. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll be
Awesome
back.
sauce. Okay, so real quickly before we get to, I already have the cards out for first name, last name, and Maria. We're getting to your readings. Don't worry about it. But before we go to those, I wanted to tell you what's coming up. So tomorrow, Sunday, February 1st. Yes, we're into February already. We're going to do another Psychic Cafe live like today's show. And the topic is going to be how to pitch yourself for podcasts and guest blogs. So we're going to be talking about that, getting yourself out there for 2026. Leverage other people's followings and audiences. Yeah. And then this week, we have our new Tarot Tuesdays. So on Tuesday, February 3rd, we'll be having a Tarot Tuesdays episode, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's also a live Zoom call for our members. You can join us on there. And boy, I had Linda and Bonnie Chevet and Judy on last Tuesday. It was a hoot. So come and join us if you're a member. And then for February, our private Q&A coaching and coffee sessions are going to be on Thursdays, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And these are not recorded. They're Zoom only. They're not on YouTube. So you have to be a member. Go over to tarotbiz.com and join up. Okay. And then it'll be next Saturday, a week from today, Michelle's Mystic Corner, the power of your power names. Could be talking a little numerology there. And then next Sunday is how to market your tarot deck or book. So tune in for that. It's going to be awesome. Alrighty. And then in the chat, had a question from first name, last name, and first name, last name has been popping in intermittently here lately, so I hadn't seen you in a while. So glad to see you in there. Please give me insight into initial S. Does she like me and my book? I was getting weird vibes from her. Curious what was going on with her. Okay, so what I got, and it's a little confusing here. I got the devil card, and so I wanted to point out that there's some kind of attachment going on with that. Okay, as far as does she like you? Yeah, she likes you. She likes your book, Queen of Cups. Emotionally speaking, that's looking really good. But there seems to be some fantasy around this, confusion, maybe fantasy with the Seven of Cups. So you might want to take a look at that first name, last name. Um, if this is, yeah, you didn't completely explain it, but that's fine. Um, are you talking about somebody that is a publisher that's going to publish your book or something like that? The weird vibes, has something to do with the devil card and this seven of cups. I do think she likes you in your book. However, there's something that's not super clear in the choices here. And lastly, I got the page of wands indicating, yeah, he's moving on and he is researching. You might need to research something else. Now, this is really interesting here, Rose. The next question was from Maria asking about let's see if I can find it here. She was asking about her love life in 2026. Single, 33 years old. Will I meet someone new or will Philip come back? And then she had another one, which I totally missed. I pulled cards for the love thing, but there was one above that. Can you do a reading for me? When will I get a new job? I'm looking all over, maybe some indication of which month. Hey, Rose, can you pull a card or two on that? And
For
then
which one? This was
uh,
on her jobs. I pulled one for her relationship thing. I was looking
oh,
at
see,
what's
I
coming
pulled for a relationship too.
up.
Yeah. Well, we're only supposed to do one question anyway, but here
Okay,
I got it. I got to say what I got because
go ahead.
this is crazy. So, when I do readings, especially like I have to do it quick for the mini readings on here, I just
Mhm.
start laying out cards and look for the person coming in. And the very first card I got is the Knight of Swords. So there's already somebody out there, Maria. And then
Mm-hmm.
you asked about um someone new and Philip coming back and stuff like that. And I got the Four of Swords reversed. And
Mm.
anybody that's been watching me for any length of time knows I don't do reversals.
Yeah.
But I laid out these cards, they were all upright, except when I pulled this card, it was reversed. It was
Wow.
upside down. And we're already talking a delay whenever we're
Yeah.
talking about the Four of Swords, right? And this is the thinking
Mm-hmm.
outside the box, one of the three or four thinking outside the box cards. So reverse, it's even more so in my view. Remember,
Mm.
I don't read reversals, so if you read reversals differently from me, don't send me a
But
bunch of spam
you're
emails.
doing this on your intuition, Dax. Doesn't matter.
Right. So my intuition is even a further delay, and we're talking out at least 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the person though is already there. It's just
Mm.
you, Maria, are not open to it because you're still, hooked on that Philip thing. And I got
I know.
the Nine of Swords keeps you up at night. You just keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it. But see,
Dax, can I add to that after you're done?
right, right, right. But let me just finish.
Sure,
And
sure, sure.
and then you can jump in. Because this all goes, I have all these cards and they all go together and I have to tell the story.
Go
So
ahead. Go ahead.
so the last one is the Two of Wands. And so at some point you got to get beyond this, all these swords and overthinking everything. And also, of course, the Four of Swords is rest and recovery, it's recuperation, it's taking a step back from the situation. Once you've done that, then you can start looking the Two of Wands, and that's when the Knight of Wands will show up. There we
Mm.
go. And then what'd you get, Rose?
So what I got, I pulled three cards, and the question I was looking at more generally, but it goes in, I think it really complements what you have. I got a reversal too, and that's the
Hmm.
Hierophant. And it
Wait a
talks
minute. Wait a
about
minute. Rose, do
oh,
you do reversals?
I'm gonna start doing reversals. I really want to do
Oh,
that. I'm
but
very curious about that.
but the reason why I'm asking is, did you get a reversal when you don't do reversals yet, like I just did, or do you do reversals?
Sometimes I do. Like when
Okay, okay, that's what I was
I
asking.
used to
I,
be a
I thought it
person
was
who
a
just wanted
funny.
to,
No, no. The only
yeah,
reason I'm asking is because I thought it was a funny synchronicity that I don't use reversals, and I pulled a reverse card, and you don't do reversals and pulled a reverse card.
exactly, exactly.
That's what I
Well,
was
what
getting at.
the the Hierophant card is really about non-traditional, especially when you're talking about relationships. This is not happening like the what was it? Is it the Knight of Wands that you had that you pulled up? This person that's coming into your life, it's going to come in a non-traditional way. In other words, the way that I view it is this: is that yes, you are stuck on Philip, and we know this just because you've been here plenty of times asking about him. And you got to think outside. You got to look at what's outside of that particular relationship or that where you're being stuck on this particular person. This person who's for you, who's probably a really good match for you, is going to come to you or is in your life in a different kind of way. So it's not the traditional, oh, I don't know, what is the traditional now? You meet someone at a
Meet them at
bar or
work,
whatever, or
and
yeah, you meet somebody at work, which is probably not a good idea to get in a relationship with someone at
yeah,
work, blah, blah, blah. This is coming to you in a different way. And what that says to me intuitively, especially given Dax's reading, is that you're stuck right now. And you really need to, if you're really open to a real love, true love, you can be stuck on your addiction, to Philip, or you can be open to something else. And if you're really open to something else, then you're going to have to look outside the box here. Okay. I also got the Queen of Swords. You're very independent kind of individual. You are your own woman, and you're not as open at the moment. Well, that's because you're focusing on somebody else in particular, right? What does that mean? How can I meet him untraditionally? Okay, that's another question that I can't really get into, but meaning what I'm saying is that this person is in your life or coming into your life in a different way. It's not about you doing something, but they're coming in a different way. Okay. The third card that I got here is the Three of Wands. This is something that's going to have to take work, and I see that especially on your end. Okay, if you're so focused on one particular person, then whether or not this person is coming back, is he coming back? Is it this and that and the other? And we know you've been asking this question a lot lately. Then you're not going to be open to this other relationship that's there. You're going to have to get yourself out of this situation. You know what I mean? You're very authentic. I am very authentic. I'm not sure what that means. Um, oh, authentic in terms of the Queen of Swords, yes. But also the Queen of Swords is about you're also closed off to any possibility of a real relationship because you're focused on somebody else, that you're focused on something that's not working at for you at this time. So you really, what I really recommend for you is to think deep down inside, who what is it that you're really looking for, because you can be stuck on the addiction part, or you can open yourself up to real love, and that's, you're not a flirtatious person. Okay, I get it. I get it. That's cool. But this is going to take work. It's going to take work for you. So you're going to have to do a little bit of work
Mhm.
to, I recommend this for anyone searching for love. What is it that you are really wanting? Not what other people say you want or what you should want. What is it that you want? What lights you up? What gives you, passion? What is it that you want to see? Don't look at the surface stuff. The surface stuff is nothing. When you find true love and that person is all the qualities that you're looking for, they're gonna be the right person. Does not The outer part does not matter. It really doesn't. I'm not saying you want somebody extremely visually unpleasant, right? But what I'm saying is that don't get stuck on the surface stuff. Really take some time, a few minutes, and search your heart about what it is that you're truly looking for. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
yeah.
much.
And Maria, if you want to ask about your job on tomorrow's show, we can spend more time. But just real quickly, I did pull cards and I did see that Four of Pentacles. It looks like you're going to be able to get that job. And both of these cards are about being financially stable.
Oh, good.
Okay. And the Nine of Pentacles, I was funny because you were saying something, Rose, about self-made person. And I mean, that's literally how I describe the Nine of Pentacles. It's the self-made woman. And
Yes.
and she's financially, comfortable and so forth. And here's the deal. When you asked, so somewhere between 4 to 9 weeks. So what I'm
Mm.
getting, the feeling I'm getting is you can make it happen faster, and within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, get a new job. Or it may take all the way till like April. But what's going on with that? I had to pull some kind of clarifier. I did it again. I got a reverse.
What's happening to you, Dax? You're
I know
changing.
I'm turning into a reverse card reader. Uh, Page of Swords, and I just, while you were talking, I went through my whole deck, and those the card for the last reading for first name last name, and or was it for Maria for the, I can't remember. Anyway, the first reversal and this reversal are the only two that are reversed in my deck. So how they got reversed, I have no idea. But it's the Page of Swords, and he's got that single sword there, but it's reversed. See, I think what's going on is if it was upright, okay, uh, all of the pages are about, or can be about, messages coming in and about learning. And with the swords, he's got that single sword. He's got this one idea that he's locked in on. And for 2026, he's putting all of his energy into that sword, this one idea. He's got other ideas, but they're on the back burner while he focuses only on this one idea. But it's reversed. So it's telling me, Maria, that that's what's holding you back, is that you haven't focused on that. In fact, the whole question, when will I get a new job? That presupposes that that's what you're supposed to be doing. And getting the Nine of Pentacles, I'm not so sure that's the route you're supposed to be going. I think you have a lot of skills and abilities where you can solve big problems for other people and create value. And then you aren't confined by, I'm working in a certain job with, for a certain company kind of thing. You might not need another job. You might need your own business, because that's the other thing about the Nine of Pentacles is she's a self-made woman. She is
Right.
an entrepreneur, you know, and all it requires is you to focus in, go from this to focus in on that one idea. Figure out, take a piece of paper and write down, these are my skills and abilities. This is what I know how to do. This is where I'm interested in. Okay, what's big problems around that? Oh, I don't know how to solve that problem. Okay, let me go online and find out how you solve X problem that's really big in the niche that I'm interested in. Whether, I don't know what that is. It's whatever you're interested in, Maria. I mean, some people are golfers, so what's a big problem that a golfer has, or I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, Rose. You like airplanes and you like flying. It's like, okay, what's a big problem in that industry that you could solve? And there you go. You know, solve that problem and you got a business. Anyway, we got to get out of here.
We do.
Thanks for being here with me. And it was a great show, great information, Rose. You dug up a lot of interesting stuff.
Yes. And we'll talk about that PDF.
Yep.
Yep.
So we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's show. Don't forget, it's and bring that up again. How to pitch yourself for podcasts and guest blogs. So join us tomorrow too. Bye everybody. Bye Rose.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Dax.